This is Forge Valley Railway Station, located in North Yorkshire on the Seamer to Pickering single-track branch line. Opening on the 1st of May 1882, the branch line was 16¼ miles long, built by NER, the North Eastern Railway. To add a little confusion, this station is not actually located on Forge Valley, nor does the branch line even run through it, but it is located in the village of West Ayton. The station presumably been named differently to avoid confusion with Great Ayton Station, also on the North Eastern network near Middlesbrough. Forge Valley Station was complete with its own engine shed and large coal storage bunkers. A goods yard and livestock pens were located near the station, and a little further west was a timber yard with its own sidings. The branch line, one of the first to be built in North Yorkshire, ran mainly through the hills of the county's North Yorkshire moors, passing mainly farmland. From opening, the line was very successful and profitable, but ran into financial and traffic decline in the 1930s. By the time British Rail took over the network on the 1st of January 1948, the line was not cost effective, and it didn't take BR's management long to announce the closure of the line. Noteworthy, over a decade before Dr. Richard Beeching's infamous cuts. The last passenger service left Forge Valley Station on the 3rd of June 1950, and the track was lifted in the same year.
Like it's been recently reboarded. The curtains are blowing at wind. The curtains are blowing at wind, or there's somebody peeping out.
This is a hole in the box.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hello and welcome to ALW Exploration. This is West Ayton Railway Station. This was known as Forge Valley Railway Station, but this railway station, we've come to visit it today because it's due for demolition very soon. There's an old railway shed there, an old engine shed. Some of the buildings are newer, but they've still got like a railway platform area. But it's all due for demolition. It was going to get demolished in the early 2000s, but that never happened, and it survived because the council used it. But again, now the council are selling it, and it's all going to get demolished. But here is the platform. This is the old platform edge. Let's jump down so you can see it a bit better. So I am on what would have been the track bed, and then councils being councils, they've put a galvanised steel platform edging on it to make it more safe for people. Those there that look like bike racks look like they've been used for storing bulk materials. Like I say, this was a council depot. Let's have a look up this way. I'm looking down at the platform edge now. This is where the railway passenger cars would have travelled, and the passengers would have alighted onto this platform here. This was just a single track branch line, and due to falling passenger numbers it closed before the beaching cuts in 1950. There's obviously residential properties nearby. Like many railway stations of this era, they're quite a grand building. Opened in 1882, and it served passengers until 1950. It wasn't part of the beaching cuts, it was closed before that, but it was only a short branch line from Seamer to Pickering. There's an engine shed over here that I'd like to have a look at, if I don't get interrupted. Right. Yeah, that old engine shed. Maybe get to it down here. There's a gap in the fence. I don't know, because that wall looks very old. But they do look new, don't they? This is new. So we're just going to have a look at this old... Now look, the roof's fallen down in there. Proper gone in. This old engine shed. That is sort of the shape of a steam train. Yeah, that's nice, that. We'll look around here, see if there's a little access. The buildings look quite well secured, and we don't break into places, so look at the... Does anybody know what this is called? The sort of feather and dovetail effect on the bricks. If you do, leave a comment please. That's where the line used to go towards Pickering. Seamer is behind us. Back up the line. That looks like we can get in. You can see where they've added an extra lintel to the archway, because that archway probably started to crumble, so they've added a stone lintel to support it. And we're into the engine shed. I'll just pass you to Dave. Got my shoulders stuck and my hips. So this was later used as a council depot, and you'll see that from the road signs that are discarded on the floor. We're not far from Scarborough. I've got other road signs here, and old bits of building material. That's some more modern electrical box there, that's from the sort of 1980s. Trying to look funny, but yeah, look at this. Look at the wheels on the... I'll just reduce the f-stop. Look at the wheels on the gate. On correction, the door, to open the door. It looks like they've even got tyres on. Yeah, there's like rubber tyres on the wheel that it runs on. Yeah, so that would have rolled that way into that recess. And one is above. and the old hardwood roofs that they put on buildings back in that era. This door at the back's more modern. That's been replaced probably when they put the extra lintel in and they covered that archway up. Interesting. Again, that near Dave there, that's electrics from the 1950s. That's turned outside lights on. That's an old light switch. That an intrinsically safe one. Then that again, that's from the 80s. So that's after. But that was probably period from the railway. You can see on the wall there, there's old like coal soot from railway engines, and it's had white lime paint at one point, but it's all faded away underneath the coal soot. And it's got a side door too. So the side doors there would have gone into that other building. And it's got the roof claps. I don't know if this is original or if that's been added after. The wood's certainly new because that's plywood. So it's either been reboarded or it is just completely new. And I've just noticed there's a brand new road sign there that's still got its cellophane wrapping on. Again up there, we've got all the soot dust on the wall. It's in pretty good condition really, considering it's from, well, it opened in 1882, so that's how old that roof is. And it gives a sort of date stamp on the age of this building too.
That's the original shape, that's been added, that brickwork.
Yeah, that lintel, they've put a new lintel outside to sort of strengthen it. Or it was maybe to do with adding this more modern door, because that's a newer door, because it doesn't have the dolly wheels at the bottom. It's on a, the weight of it's held by the rail above. Whereas this door is the weight of it's held on the wheels at the bottom. And then it's just on a runner at the top. It's just how they used to do them. All the weight at the bottom, but you had to have a clear run, so any sort of coal that had fallen out the wagon on the way in, or the train rather, the locomotive, terminology, sorry, the locomotive when it come in, if it dropped any dust or anything in the runner, they wouldn't be able to get the door shut, they'd have to sweep it out. That's just how things have modernised over the years. Go back out now. So back outside now. That was the engine shed behind us. I'm just going to walk over there to Dave. Dave's keeping a low profile. This is a more modern. Ooh, now I've seen something old. These are old coal bunkers. These are where they would have dug the coal out of there and put them into an engine to refuel the coal, and they would have done that out of these coal bunkers here into the engine that would have been in the engine shed for the next morning's work. And I believe where we looked at these buildings earlier and they look modern, these wouldn't have had the extra. Yeah, coal bunkers. Yeah. So these wouldn't have had the extra bit on top. These would have just been coal bunkers like the others. You can make out where the old wall was, the top of the old wall, and these would have been coal bunkers for the trains. So back out now. And along here was the sidings for the railway sheds, and the railway line would have been some sets of points near where Dave is, and then it would have carried on down there to Pickering, and then back that way through the station towards Seamer. We've got there what looks like an old footbridge. Got various bits of old council and building materials. This looks like it was a builder's yard at some point. Got curbstones, bricks. These will all get dumped probably. So I think this area is going to get redeveloped very soon. But this looks like the structure of an old footbridge. Would you agree, Dave?
I do, yeah, very much so. Yeah.
So when the railways closed, they've took a footbridge down and just left it here. So that has been there a long time. Go on, Dave, what era do you think that's from? Because I'm starting to think it's a bit more modern than that.
20th century.
Thanks, Dave.
Okay.
The welding looks quite modern.
It does.
So it's from the like 70s or 80s, that, I'd say. And the way the steel's cut, that's plate steel that's been welded together. That's a plate that's been cut and welded to this box section. I don't know when box section came out, but it isn't that old. Not from the era of the railway, which I previously mentioned. That's more modern. So that could have been a road footbridge that's been dumped here.
Possibly.
You're looking at, just in the steel, to buy the steel for that, there will be, just these bits, these will be 500 quid a length, just for that box section. So there's a lot of money just sat there. We're going to make our way back down towards the station now. If you're liking this sort of content, railway related videos, please leave a comment. If you've got suggestions for further videos, again leave me a comment. And whilst you're at it, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, because it really helps me out when you do that. So I'd appreciate that, thank you. We spotted anyone, Dave?
We thought there was somebody at garden there.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a guy speaking. He was in his man shed.
Okay. Yeah, we don't want to disturb anyone on this channel. I want to be sort of in, film it, photograph it, and be out. I was thinking that was like old. Is that old coal?
No, it's
Is it?
it's when they've removed the road surface to resurface it.
That's the old stuff.
Yeah, they'll recycle it back in the can.
Bash it up and
Oh, they will recycle it.
yeah. All right. Green roads, eh? Apart from the black. Could do with pointing up, but I think it's going to get knocked down before it gets pointed up, sadly. See the old telephone insulator there, when it's had a phone line. Just heading back down towards the station now. We'll look at the platform areas.
So lintel, the arched lintel for that doorway is actually a piece of cast iron,
It certainly is.
and then they've been set the bricks into it.
So it's been one piece of cast they've fitted and then put the keystone above.
Just for decorative purposes. It doesn't really need it because it's got the cast iron support.
Yeah. Nice. So we could probably safely say that's an original door.
Yeah.
Original hardwood door that's been overpainted several times to keep it fresh. The architecture on the end of the guttering. All hand carved hardwood. That looks like it's been the old electrical supply that they've chopped off and pulled back. They've wound it back up. And that would have gone to the 1980s distribution board in there. when the council have used it. I think there's another platform. Yeah, there's a platform edge here as well. Look. There. That was for a maintenance, like a maintenance platform. And then this raised section here has been added afterwards. This would have been level, and that side sort of platform edge would have carried on through, and this would have been dropped to get a railway car in. There's the old notice board area there. But sadly this railway station is due for demolition, so it will be no more. Sad really, because it is quite a grand building. It'd make a lovely house. Now I'm Andy from ALW Exploration. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, and if you're interested, I've got a members section where there'll be private videos for channel members only. Extra content. A lot of it is short videos that aren't long enough to put out as a major video on a Thursday, but they're sort of 5 minutes here, 8 minutes there, but they're all of good things. It's just I don't want to use them as a Thursday video. So if you want to see extra content, it's 99p a month, and you get custom emojis and badges, and you get a badge next to your name on live chats and premieres. So if you want to check that out, great. If not, just please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you every Thursday. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.
Looking over my shoulder, looking back at your door. In my head it goes over and over. Should I leave or want it more? Looking over my shoulder,